enough, he might have lost right there. But he had some fairly good micro that allowed him to survive in that first attack by the Terran user's start. And now he's chasing over here. Looks like two tanks are just about to go down, and we'll see if they go down. One tank goes down to splash, and then the other tank gets killed by the Zealot over here, and this tank is almost dead as well. So overall, fairly good defense of that attack there by KwAkSa. He's continuing to gain a lead because he didn't even have that many units because he was climbing so many tech trees and getting such early upgrades. But because of the fact that he had that really good defense, he's now going to be able to take a substantial lead. Look how many gateways he's making right now. And he's just going to be able to take this game. He's going to be able to contain the Terran for a while because that first push did not work. So now we see a second Templar Archives coming up. I think that's a mistake. I don't think he actually meant to make two Templar Archives. But he is going to get a Stargate, so we could be sure of Arbiters coming fairly soon, which is a very nice tech choice, especially when you have such a nice lead. And another Forge going up for upgrades. So KwAkSa looks like he's in a very, very comfortable position right now. About 25 supply ahead of the Terran. And the Terran's getting his 5th factory right now. Start. He's gonna have to play. He's gonna have to wait until a perfect timing attack because his first push did not work. KwAkSa is just gonna continue to gain his lead, and he's got another Nexus going in his safe natural only, mineral only. So it looks like +1 has already finished for these Dragoons, and these tanks are still 0-0. So that +1 is gonna prove pretty handy actually. And the armies have only just started beginning. And right now we have Vultures just trying to go around, get some map control with these mines. But KwAkSa definitely has a much bigger army right now. I mean, he's got Storm already, and Arbiters are also on the way as well. So KwAkSa is going to be pushing out right now. Start is also coming to push out. He's got to make something happen because he needs to secure his 3rd base, and he also needs to take out some of these expansions over here. Otherwise, KwAkSa is just going to continue getting a huge economic advantage and just be able to overrun Start. So Start has about 8 tanks right now and about 10 Vultures. Laying mines right now, sieging up right now, and this is not a very good attack by KwAkSa. I don't think he should be attacking into this. His Zealots are going to move in, try and drag some mines into those tanks. They're on the tanks, and these Vultures not doing a very good job blocking those Zealots from getting to the tanks. And some tanks go down to splash fire, but now with all the Zealots obliterated, these Dragoons are going to be forced to retreat because Protoss players always need to have Zealots with their forces in order to engage tanks and Vultures. So right now, Start is going to continue his push. He's brought a few SCVs along to build some turrets, and that'll help his push immensely if he can get those turrets up. It'll make it just so much harder to defend. But now we've got some storm drops and shuttle speed bombs or zealot bombs, and there goes the Templar. It has Storm, nice Storm on his own observer though, but it takes out a lot of tanks and damages a lot of other tanks. However, these Dragoons are going to go down, and there's still 4 tanks over here with reinforcements constantly coming in. Turrets are now going up. So although that was effective, those storm drops, he really needs to make sure this contain does not get outside, because if this contain gets set up right outside of his bridges, it's going to be very hard to break. And another Zealot almost kills another tank. Looks like this shuttle is going to try and do some more storms. Nice Storm gets off. And this High Templar is also going to get Storm. No, it does get killed before it's able to storm. But now a very, 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 very dire situation for KwAkSa. That was a very nice push by Start, and he can't really break out of this because there's just so many mines and turrets and tanks, and just the fact that these bridges are so narrow is really going to hurt him a lot, and it's going to be very hard to break out of that. I'm thinking he might have to go from the back of his base in order to break out. But it looks like Start is also going to come over here and start taking out this expansion. So Start has taken a very nice lead. At this point he can also take his 3rd base and also continue to macro, getting some more factories. But right now he's going to get that command center up. So first Arbiter is now out. Looks like it's just content trying to pick off some spider mines. And KwAkSa is going to still try and push out. But it's just going to be so hard to push out from these natural bridges. It's just so narrow, it's going to be very, very hard. These turrets are providing detection, and his Arbiter is getting attacked by that turret. So right now he's pushing out, but there's just way too many units. Look at all these vultures. There's way too many tanks. And that was a failed attack by KwAkSa. And KwAkSa's early game immense advantage is now deteriorating by the second. So we're going to have to see how KwAkSa manages to get out of this. Looks like recall is probably already finished. So he could probably do some recall, maybe outside of the base and try and attack third, or maybe inside the main of start. But we'll have to see. And now the Terran is inching closer and closer to the Protoss. Eventually he's going to want to try and get somewhere over here where he can take that Nexus down. But now these troops are going to come in and try and delay the push from getting so close. And start continuing to push in. I don't feel like he should be pushing right now. Well, he did take out this expansion. Sorry, I missed that. But that's very, very good for him, because now it's 3 base versus 3 base. And Protoss always needs more bases than Terran, because Terran is just so much more stronger than Protoss units. Stasis goes off on vultures. And we can see a little semi-wall here with all these buildings that are preventing these vultures from coming over here and attacking the mineral only. But KwAkSa is already starting to mine out, so he's really going to have to make something happen right now. And really good job here. He's going to be able to push out. All the vultures went over there and they got stasis. And these zealots, I don't know where they're running to, but these dragoons are not going to be able to break this alone because reinforcements are coming. And no, he's not going to be able to break this contain. So KwAkSa just continues to lose more and more units. These zealots, they just went somewhere else. They don't want to fight, I guess. And now this contain is still here set up. And it's going to be almost impossible to break out of this contain at this point. KwAkSa is trying to retake this base over here. But the Nexus is not going to be able to warp in. There's just too many units that are going to be able to take it out. And this Arbiter is going to go down to those turrets. That's a very, very bad mistake. And Zealots continue to stream in, but I feel like they're just wasting their lives because they're just coming in one by one and getting, decimated by those tanks and vultures very, very quickly. And these tech buildings are going to be killed over here. And the third expansion for start is now up. So KwAkSa has another Arbiter now, and he's gonna have to. He's just has such a small army right now. The Terran has a higher supply than KwAkSa, and that's never a good thing. And now Vultures coming in to harass over here. They're gonna be able to take out these cannons fairly easily, and then take out all the probes over here. And KwAkSa can't send reinforcements to that base, because if he does, then the Terran start will just push into his natural and take out his natural. So these probes are going to have to fight for themselves. They're going to fend for themselves and take out these vultures as best as they can. Start is not microing these, but regardless, he dealt tons of damage with those vultures. And looks like that vulture is going to start microing, but it does get picked off in the end. So now it's 3 bases versus 3 base. This base is now back up and running, and it's very, very vulnerable to tank or vulture harass. So Start should definitely take a look in trying to attack that. Both of them have even supply right now. Looks like there's a... Well, Start is going to try and push closer and closer. And now unit movement over here, going to the back, and he's going to try and push out over here, try and take out these vultures that are attacking his probes. These probes running to their death. Those siege tanks get some target practice, and it's getting bleaker and bleaker for KwAkSa by the minute. It looks like this Nexus is also going to get picked off by these vultures. But his army is going to come in. Let's see if it has the time to save it. Vultures are going to be forced to retreat, and this Arbiter, these troops are going to force Start to have to move over there. He's got to have to move some reinforcements over to deal with these units that are streaming down over here and threatening a counterattack at this third base. But KwAkSa is staying right here. Looks like he just wanted to defend his Nexus. And this Arbiter, he may be going for a recall, which would be a very good move right now because these units are not ready to defend right now. And here comes the Arbiter. It's got to make sure it does not land on top of those mines. There's a lot of mines already placed by Start, which will prevent a recall. But he's going to recall right into these factories. Very nice recall. The Arbiter is going to go down though, and reinforcements coming in for Start. He's got to He's got to defend this because if he loses production buildings, he's going to